Good day all, welcome to Obed Farm. Well, it's the first week of March and the rain seemed to have slowed down, but that has left us not really in much of a problem, but we're just saying to ourselves that what is going to be happening. Well, let's just give you an update on the farm, what we have been doing. As I said, every month I would be giving an update on where we are and what we're doing. Start off with the maize. As you can see, the maize is, we have got all, as I said, we have got three levels of maize. This one, I am very confident that it will reach maturity, and I'm not only sure that it will reach maturity. As you can see, some of it has already, it's already finished tasseling. It's already got cobs, and the cobs have actually got seeds inside, so therefore means that we are going to get a bit of harvest from this section of the maize. The second section, I'm also very confident that we are going to get, which is in front there, we are going to get some maize. But the third section there, which is still small and is not yet arrived, I do not believe that we are going to be in a position of getting the labor of fruits that we want from them. But we are hoping that we get something, and hopefully if not, we'll see what we will do with that maize. Then we start on the tomatoes. The tomatoes, as you can see, which are here, we are already harvesting these ones. At the present moment, they are actually boxing them, and today they've managed to put up at least 2 boxes out of these tomatoes that we have grown here. So this one, as much as it has been done over the rainy season, it is very possible to do, but it has got a lot of labor. It's very labor intensive, and as I said, I did not want the determined tomatoes, the ones that you put on sticks and you grow them, because I felt that is even more labor. But we are harvesting from the tomatoes that we have got. Will we do this next year? Most likely we will, as we have seen that it is very much possible. Then we come to the butternut. The butternut is doing well. We have got some fruits, but at the same time, it has been, the leaves are now starting to yellowish, but we have got fruits which you can see, which are coming through from the butternut. So the butternut has actually done well for us. We have got no problems with really the butternut, and I cannot say anything about it at the present moment. Then we have got the okra. This is just a little bit for someone to consume here at the farm. We didn't plant a lot. We just planted, like altogether, probably about 15 to 20 plants that we've planted, and those is going to be consumed here at the farm. So on the agricultural, I can say that it has been a labor of love. It's not been anything that I can really look into and say that we have done a lot of agricultural. As I said again, the water situation has been the one that has really drawn me back into doing a lot here at the farm. And when you get that kind of situation, you need to be very much to understand what you're doing and where you are in your farming endeavor. And right now, being very honestly speaking, it has been very difficult on the agricultural side, because we have been faced with a lot of water challenges. And even if it has rained, it hasn't as rained as much as I would have loved it to rain, and where I would have expected it to rain like the previous. But when we look at one of our small, this is the wells that tell us where really the water levels are. This is the water levels which then also affect my borehole. So this well is here. Normally it would be at a higher stage, which means that this year the water is not going to be very much. So if it does not keep raining, we are not going to experience, we're going to run out of water when it reach to an end. Well, on that, then we go to our heritage breed chickens. Well, the heritage breed chickens are doing well. If you have not watch this video, but we have got a lot now. They're now all at the farm. The ones which were at home, at which I was taking care of, I've moved them to the farm. Why I've moved them to the farm is because I believe that they were now ready to come to the farm, and the person at the farm is now getting used to also taking care of them and what is needed for them. And we've also got to learn quite a lot about them. And at the present moment, when I started, I was buying four of each of these chicks. So when we had the deaths were so many, you'd probably get what I wiped. There were quite a few breeds which were wiped out totally, and that actually came into a suggestion to my mind that I probably wanted to start with too many breeds, because I also, all in total, I wanted about 15 different breeds. Well, they said that it's always nice to think big, but sometimes starting small was the thing. Well, you probably started with only 4 breeds, probably bought 20 or 10 of each of those breeds, and made sure that those breeds are grown into the section. So what I'm now going to do is that I am now going to stop whatever I'm doing, and instead of buying more, because I was now starting to buy 1-2 to fill in those gaps, and I started thinking that this is not going to work. The best way now for me to do this project is to take these chicks one at a time and probably buy 10 of each and every one of these breeds at a time and grow them until we reach the stage, and then I buy the next 10 like that until I get all the 15 breeds with at least 10 chicks of each. And also when they die, at least you know that you are not losing the whole line like what I was doing, where I was losing the whole line. Now I will not even be losing the whole line. I will still remain with the same line of chicks that I want. Well, that is really on the chicks side that I am planning on that. So we're going to be doing that starting most likely end of March, end of this month. That's when we'll start again replenishing and doing that. But those chicks that we do have, at least we'll have a framework of working on those chicks, whereby when we start the first eggs and the first incubation, we do have the chicks that we do want. That is really on that. On the rabbit side, this is actually another month that we expect quite a lot of bunnies. So far, the past, I think a week past, we have had one that has given birth to about between 7 to 9. As I said, we don't like touching them, so we are not sure yet how many it has. But we can now see that we also had a learning curve during the rabbits. One learning curve that we did have was about the making overfeeding of the rabbit to a point whereby it died due to bloating. This time we are making sure that we balance the feed. We make sure that it's not overeating. We're making sure that it's taking care of its young. So at the present moment, we have actually had no problem with this mother rabbit so far, but we have not yet started touching the kids. But we can see that the kids are starting to fare up, and probably in the next week or so, they should be out of the nesting box, and that will be a sign that we have done well with that first batch of rabbits. As I've said, I've had quite a learning curve of the rabbits dying, and with that learning curve, you can't keep on saying that you're doing a learning curve. You actually learn quite, and then you do the correct thing the next time. So we have learned, we have corrected, and we are actually in the right path right now, and I'm very happy with where we are. As I said, right now the breeding rabbits we have are enough. We are not going to be buying more. We still need to finish up a cage or two. That is something that is important. The cages are not enough, but we still got to finish up the cage. The cage, we are still in the process of building it, and probably, hopefully next week, we would have finished that cage. Hopefully next week. That's why I'm saying hopefully next week we would have finished that cage, and we will not be talking about more cages for quite some time. But that is something that we are actually in the process of working on. The cage is something that has been very important. We will finish on the cages, and then we do the rabbit breeds that we do have right now. I am happy with. We have got no problems about doing more rabbit breeds for the time being. We'll want to concentrate on those for now, and we will see where we take it from there. That is on the rabbit side. Then we go to the cows, the cattle. As I said, we have had one that gave birth recently, and I am happy with the number of cows that we have right now. As I said, this was a project which started off with three cows. We started off with 3, and over time they have grown the numbers. Some we have consumed, some we have sold, some we have purchased, some we have sold. So I am happy with the numbers that we have, and at the present moment it is green, so the grass makes it easy for, at least I feel better that they have got green grass. But when they also have got green grass, you also then have another problem. The next problem that you have is them having diseases. So at least this year we have had no challenges yet. Fingers crossed. Thank God that we have had no problems with the with any deaths due to illnesses. So that is, I'm happy about that we have had absolutely no problem with our cattle this year. We're from deaths. That has been on the cattle side. Then we go to the pigs. At the present moment, I've not shown you anything about the pigs, but the pigs, we only have two. We've got one male, one female. Those are the only pigs that we do have on the farm. But those pigs on the farm that we do have, those two, now we are in a position whereby we're now starting to fatten them. Why we want to fatten them is that we want them to start breeding. At the present moment, we had put them in such a position whereby they were just eating enough to say that they're sustaining their body size. But now we are now feeding them so that we can get them to a point whereby they will be in a position to start mating. And this position, we are hoping by the end of this month, end of March, they will be in that position, and then we would start talking about a different story about starting to breed again. Has the situation about feed improved? No, it hasn't. But I believe that the only reason why I'm doing this is because I believe that I have now gone into a position whereby I need a little bit of pork in the house and in the farm, and therefore I need to at least revive that back to where it was and get them to where we need them to be. That is really much about the pigs at the present moment. Then we come to our broiler chickens. Broiler chickens, as I said, that is our bread and butter that we're doing slowly. We have got right now 51 chicks, which are in week 3, and that being them being in week 3, we are just monitoring them. We're just doing the proper feeding of them, and we're following all the things that need to get the broilers to where they need to be for selling, and until we get them to the stage for market. We have had no problems with them. In fact, we had a lot of problems with them, especially with the first day when we thought they were all going to die on us. The people who got those chicks, a lot of them say that more than 50% of theirs got wiped out due to them dying. As for me, none of mine did. So thank God that has happened also on mine. We have managed just to be able to sustain and actually look after them, especially the first day that they arrived, when we saw that they were all weak. We really made sure that we gave them a lot of stress pack and a lot of so that they could build up a lot of energy in a very short space of time, and we made sure that they were well cooled during that day, during that time. So that is really much about the broiler chickens that we do have. Those are really the projects that I'm doing right now that I can really talk about and will be trying to improve. What we're just going to be really doing is really looking more at the rabbits side. That is, now everything that we're doing is, we have reached a point whereby it's not about buying the things, it's now about making sure that they now produce. The rabbits have started producing, which is a good sign. The chickens, they have not yet reached maturity for them to start laying eggs, so that is still a process. Probably around June, July, that is, in fact, around July, August will probably be the first group which will start probably laying the first eggs, and by then we need to have separated them if we want to do proper breeding so that they do not cross, and then we have proper heritage breeds according to those breeds that we do have. Well, I think on the farming side, as I said, it is not really much. Next year we will not be doing any crops, and say this year there's nothing really much we'll be doing. There will be no crops due to the fact that I do not see enough water. If I can find a bit of capital enough to drill a borehole which is deeper than what I do, and then the water starts coming out a lot, I will probably do that. But for now, this is where we are. This is where we are doing. And obviously the orchard takes care of itself now that most of the trees are there which are mature. Well, to those who have not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on your notification button. Until next time, have a good day.